In this lesson, I will focus on the calculations the series and the parallel combination. This is part 3 video tutorial. So only part 1 mo ile re focus fela on the basic introduction, re tlhalosa the important concepts, and then part 2 re focus on the series and the parallel calculations. So this is part 3 video tutorial mo ile re focus on the combination. For better understanding, make sure ya o lebella part 2 ya the series and the parallel, because this one give the combination. I level this question. I interpret this diagram first. O ka kgona bona re mo rena le 12 volts on our cell. This means this voltage you supply this circuit kaofela. So give the total voltage ya the circuit. And then o ka kgona bona re mo rena le a positive terminal and then mo rena le a negative terminal. Remember, a positive terminal re tseba ka line e telele, and then a negative terminal re tseba ka line e short. So this means this is our positive terminal and then mo ke our negative terminal. It's important gore tsebe gore what is the positive terminal and then what is the negative terminal, because re tlo tshwanela gore re tsebe gore current ya rena e flowa bjang. Re tseba current e flowa from positive to negative, so ke the conventional current. This means current you move from this point, it will from the battery ile full. This current you tsamaya ka this direction. Remember, current I jump because look at this point, at this point. So this current it will move ka this direction, and then ya tsamaya ka this direction, ya tsamaya ka this direction. Morna le ammeter. Ammeter inova the instrument that is used to measure the current. Ke the instrument is lo re shumisha go measure current. This ammeter no re botsa gore mo go feta current ya bokae. Let's say, for example, let's say current ya rena ya circuit ke 2 amperes. No ba example, I'm not saying current ke 2 amperes, ke no shumisha example. So current ya rena e flow at this direction ile 2 amperes, and then ya tsamaya ya fihla at this resistor ile 2 amperes. O ka kgona bona gore this resistor is connected in series, and then these two resistors are connected in parallel. So it's important to understand that current in series is the same. This means this resistor, because it's in series, you should measure current total. Total current is 2 amperes. This resistor you should measure current 2 amperes. This current is all full yatsamaya, but at this point your splitter, meaning your divider, because this resistor and this resistor are connected in parallel. Always parallel connection, current divider. So current engwe yo ya mo 6 ohm resistor, and then yengwe ya mo 4 ohm resistor. Let's say, for example, let's say mo 6 ohm resistor where current 0.5, and then more 4 ohm resistor where current 1.5. Remember, current is total, so it was split amoki ya divider. That is why resistors in parallel the current divider, because current ya divider. So engwe yo ya mo inova example. So 0.5 plus 1.5 ki 2. This current ya 6 ohm resistor it was tsamaya ya fihla at this point, and then this one ya fihla at this point. Dia kopana again. 1.5 plus 0.5 dia ba 2 amperes again. So dia tsamaya ile total. So whatever the resistor, let's say re be le re mo rena le resistor, re la gore this resistor e be tlo shumisha current ya this total, because it tla be ile in series. And then another thing, mo rena le voltmeter. This is a voltmeter. Voltmeter inova the instrument that is used to measure the voltage. Ke the instrument is to measure voltage. O ka kgona bona gore this voltmeter connected between this point and this point. Era gore e measure voltage ya these resistors in parallel. this voltmeter it tlo re botša gore these two resistors di na le voltage ya bokae. Remember this voltage is 12 volts, so ga e tsamaya yo ba shared mo these resistors, so re ka kgona go tseba gore these two resistors in parallel di na le voltage ya bokae re šomiša this voltmeter. So now re interpretile diagram ya rena. Now a re lebelele our first question. Our first question is calculate equivalent resistance connected in parallel. Equivalent resistance, so equivalent in orela total. So equivalent resistance re nyaka total resistance connected in parallel. This means re nyaka the total resistance ya these two resistors connected in parallel. Re na le formula ya calculator resistors connected in parallel. 1 over R parallel is equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. Ge e le gore be re na le di-resistors tše 3 be re tla ba le plus 1 over R3, but because re na le only 2 resistors e ra gore re tlo ba le this one fela, and then from here re tlo ba le 1 over 6 plus 1 over 4 is 5 over 12 ke 1 over R parallel, but question e nyaka the total resistance in parallel. This means re nyaka R parallel, not 1 over R parallel. So re tlo flipper this number, so re tlo flipper 1 over R parallel, meaning re tlo iphethola re tlo ba le R parallel, and then ra phetola le 5 over 12 ra ba le 12 over 5, and then 12 over 5 is 2.4 ohms. So ke the total resistance connected in parallel. Alternative method, o ka šomiša this formula again ga o nyaka go calculate resistance connected in parallel. R1 times R2 divided by R1 plus R2. This formula we šomiša if o na le 2 resistors fela tše le gore connected in parallel. So ga o ka ba le resistors tše more than 2 o ka se kgone go šomiša this formula. So re na le 6 times 4 divided by 4 plus 6, and then e re fa 12 over 5. So o ka kgona bona gore this one e re fa straight answer, ga go sa tlhokega gore dire inverse, so it's 2.4 ohms. I think this one is useful ge le gore na le resistors tše 2 because it's straightforward. Now a re lebelele our next question. Part B, calculate the total resistance of the circuit. O tlo tshwanela gore o tsebe gore ge re na le combination ya series and parallel, R total e lekana le R parallel plus R series. So this means R total e lekana le the resistance connected in parallel plus this resistor is connected in series, and then re calculate R parallel ra kry gore ke 2.4, and then our R series ke 5, so our R total ke 2.4 plus 5 which is 7.4 ohms, so ke our R total. Our next question is calculate the reading on A. This is our A. Remember A in over ammeter. Ammeter is the instrument that measure current. Actually this question is re nyaka go tseba current e lore ya flow on this A. So re tseba gore current e tswella e le total. So current ga e tswella e le total here, e tsamaya on this conductor ya tsamaya. So era gore current ya rena e sa le full at this point ya A, because current ya rena ga sanka ya divider anywhere. So era gore the total current is at this point ya A. Actually this question e nyaka gore calculate the total current of the circuit. So re tlo šomiša this formula. I is equals to V over R. E tswela from this formula ya R is equals to V over I. Re define resistance. Resistance ke ratio ya voltage and current. So I is equals to V over R. Re dirile I subject of the formula. Therefore, question e nyaka the total current. Because e nyaka the total current, e rela gore re tlo shumisha V total and then ra shumisha le R total. And therefore, our V total ke 12 volts, ke total voltage ya circuit. So re tlo ba le 12 divided by R total re calculatile ra kry gore ke 7.4. ke 1.62 amperes. So this is our total current. This question e benyaka re calculator current at this A because part of the reading on A. Vano rala gore current flow on A. Remember A reader current because ke ammeter. So this is our answer for part C. Are level part D. Part D is the reading on V1. So this is our V1. And then V ke voltmeter. It measure voltage or the potential difference. This V1 is connected between this point and this point. It measure voltage. Yeah, the parallel resistors. Actually, question is calculator voltage. Yeah, the parallel resistors. So, I'm going to share this formula. V is equals to IR. From this formula, R is equals to V over I. Radira V subject of the formula. So this is our formula, our calculator V1. And therefore, re substitute ka I and R. But re substitute ka I, yeah, these resistors together, and then ra substitute ka R parallel because these resistors are in parallel. So for current, lebelela gore current e tswella e le full ya divider at this point. Engwe ya mo, engwe ya mo. This means these two resistors di shumisha total current because re nyaka these resistors in parallel. Current is divided, but you ba on this resistor and on this resistor. So era re shumisha I total. And then I total recalculate le ra kry gore ke 1.62. And then R parallel recalculate ra kry gore ke 2.4. Therefore 1.62 times 2.4, 3.89. So key voltage, yeah, the parallel resistors. And then part E area, calculate the current through 4 ohm resistor. So re nyaka current e le gore e feta on this resistor. Remember current e tswella e le total. And then re fitla at this point ya splitter, meaning ya divider, engwe ya mo 6 ohm resistor and then engwe ya mo 4 ohm resistor. So re nyaka current e le gore ya mo 4 ohm resistor. And therefore re ka kgona go shumisha this formula, I is equals to V over R. And then because this question is specific, in nyaka current ya 4 ohm resistor, I 4 ohm resistor is equals to V 4 ohm resistor divided by resistor ya 4. So re tlo substitute ka voltage ya 4 ohm and then resistor ya 4 ohm. Our previous question re calculate gore V1 ke 3.89, and then this V1 ke voltage ya the parallel resistors. So re kry-ile gore ke 3.89 volts. It's important gore o tsebe gore voltage in parallel is the same. So this V1 ke ya these resistors ke 6 ohm ebile ke 4 ohm, because this resistor and this resistor di connected in parallel, so voltages tša gona di a tshwana. And then re kry-ile gore V parallel ya rena, our V1 ke 3.89. so re la gore re tlo šomiša 3.89 and then divide by 4 ke 0.97 amperes. So ke our answer for part E. And then part F area, the potential difference of 5 ohm resistor. Ra tseba gore V is equals to IR from this formula. Re dira V subject of the formula. So V is equals to IR, and then because re nyaka potential difference ya 5 ohm resistor, e re la re tlo šomiša current ya 5 ohm resistor, ra šomiša le resistor ya 5. Remember gore this resistor is connected in series, and then always resistor in series current is the same. Era I total e lekana le I series, so era gore this resistor e šomiša current ya total because it's in series, and therefore re kry-ile gore I total ke 1.62. so 1.62 times 5 ke 8.1 volts. So this is our answer for voltage ya 5 ohm resistor. And then this question again o ka dira in this way. V total lekana le V parallel plus V series. Always re na le combination ya series and parallel, total voltage ya circuit e lekana le voltage ya parallel le voltage ya series. So voltage ya rena total ke 12, and then V parallel re kry-ile gore ke 3.89. so re nyaka V series. Remember our voltage ya 5 ohm ke series because this 5 ohm resistor connected in series, and therefore V series is equals to 12 minus 3.89. so it will offer the same thing. The answer is 8.11 volts, so which is just 8.1 volts. It's the same thing. So it's all up to you when you shumisha which method, but it's important to know gore V total lekana le V parallel plus V series. So that's it for this question anyway.